So welcome back to coverage of Windmill 2018. Coverage brought to you this weekend by ULTI.TV. Women's action now between Helsinki and Mainzelmädchen. Benjamin Reese and Liam Grant going to be with you for the start of this game. Well, we just do a quick little commentary change. Oh, nice toe in at the back there by Helsinki. So they're going to break to start this game. Their zone got a turn and they capitalised pretty efficiently.
Yeah, it was a break right off the bat. Good zone look, especially when the offense has to go upwind. And we see a great score there by Laura Serlin, who also works as a lawyer.
Nice, good knowledge.
Solicited her way into the end zone there, and a first break, exactly what you want in this game.
So a couple of Finnish teams here, both Helsinki and the European champions, Atletico, in attendance. Finland's been was long considered a powerhouse European ultimate. They had a little bit of decline, but they powered back in the women's division recently. And Mainzelmädchen are a formidable opponent as well. There's a little sing-along going on down to our left between KWR and Jogo Benito, who are playing in the last game on this field.
Yeah, that was beautiful. I don't know if the audio picked up on that, but that was sensational singing.
That was a problem there just with the spacing of the offense. Two cutters came to the same space and allowed a defender to come in between them.
Sarah Hume with the run through D. Helsinki coming out hot as the underseeded team, but looking sharp.
That's a round backhand there. Not a lot of unders coming, and they finally do get someone going through. Not going to get any yards on that though, really, and immediately going to dish the disc back with a left-hip hand. Nice high release there towards this near sideline. Looking for an option into the middle, and oh, nice poach from the defender, comes peeling off to get the block.
The outstretched arms of Caroline Janczyk getting a great D there.
Mainzelmädchen going to work. Squeezing it on this near sideline. Nice strike cut there. And again, all congested though in this near side channel, and Hund manages to break it off. Nice continuation towards that break side of the far side of the field. Looking into the middle, is going to go over everyone, and he's got a hand on it but couldn't quite reel it in. Oops. That throw is going to float. Goes out this sideline. Well, now Karaman nearly made the catch but dropped it. Guess that's why he's on the sideline. He's not playing this year. So Mainzelmädchen's offense goes back to work. Squeezing it inside.
I think I'm meant to be on this field with Sarah.
You are.
Okay.
There's going to be a turnover there as just going to use this opportunity to leave the commentary box. I'm going to leave you in the very capable hands of El Shaq, and soon to be joined by Sarah Harrison.
All right, we've got El Shaq here. As very close to their defensive end zone there. Good pressure from the defense. And very good pressure from D, getting the conversion and scoring. And apologies for our slight technical issues here with our commentary. It's a very small turnover between games, and some of our commentary team have just come from their own game where they've been playing, as I'm joined by Sarah. We also have to climb up some scaffolding. It's very unglamorous, the industry life of the commentary team, as we sit up here and we've got someone spilt their Coke up here as well, so we now have some drinks to contend with.
But we are all ready now to enjoy some very good Frisbee. So here we see Mainzelmädchen playing against Helsinki Ultimate. And at the moment the score is 1-1 with Helsinki on offense.
That's right, and just doing a microphone check now that we're both here, both seated and ready to enjoy some Ultimate here at Windmill 2018.
Biljana with a really big hook, streaking deep is Sirakovic. She's just short of the end zone. Taking her time, not really much option, but very patient, and gets it off to Salim for a beautiful hold there from Helsinki.
That's right, very disciplined, didn't try to do the jump into the end zone, wanted to make sure the catch was solid, and then waited for one of her teammates to be open. Nice, controlled and disciplined play there from Helsinki.
So it's nice to be here at Windmill, here in Amsterdam. As you can probably see on the screen, it is a little bit windy, as we just see a replay there of the nice pop into the end zone. So we're on quite an exposed field. So wind's dropped a bit, definitely, in comparison to this morning. It was quite gusty, and now it seems a bit more stable. So it'd be interesting to see what teams can do with the wind.
That's right, so it's been 11 minutes of play already. Helsinki leading 2-1. Quite a low score after this many minutes. A testament to how closely matched these two teams are so far in their second round of women's division here.
So Mainzelmädchen getting a bit trapped here down this line. Looking to take the swing, but her dump's not open. She has to go for a big hug, but there's a lot of people down there, and Helsinki have just read that a lot better with a nice D there from Huma.
That's right, she probably could have caught that D actually. She was in a very good position, but maybe she didn't really want to be in control of the disc.
Yeah, it could also be seen as coffin corner down there, but especially with wind like today, I would definitely think about trying to catch as much as possible, or at least try and smack it slightly further to the ground.
That's right.
And macking it up, but it's fine. Helsinki are now going to go for their break, but it's not a nice corner to be in, and there's a lot of poaching going on from Mainzelmädchen. Helsinki has to pop it off. Really well taken.
Yeah, nice strong hands there. She wanted that disc and had run hard to get it. Really strong defensive pressure, but lovely vision there find that player on the sideline.
Cheeky little blade over the top.
It was quite cheeky considering how tall her opponent is. Would have had those nice long arms for a big reach, but got away with it.
Oh, a big hook here, but it is a bit upwind, and it's well read by the Mainzelmädchen. Playing a great take
Plucked
there.
it out of the hair. Oh, nice grab. But just not getting there for the catch. Number 24.
So Helsinki once again the wind is gusting now. Gusting so much that our roster is flown away as she goes for a big hug, and there's a Mainzelmädchen defender, but she's read it incorrectly. It's just short.
That's right. Apologies in advance to the Helsinki fans, as we will now be forced to refer to the players by their number until someone on the ground level is able to retrieve our team list. And the sun is finally breaking through the clouds at Windmill, which I am very grateful for, because it has been very cold for me coming from Australia, from Perth, where our temperatures don't really vary too much.
Oh, that was really nice dumping and swinging there from Mainzelmädchen. Just that last one, just bobbling off the hands of Gerglo.
Yeah, nice movement, very good flow, good connections, and then unfortunately just the last one, which is the one that they need, not coming off.
So Helsinki seemed quite content to swing the disc. A nice low break there, and once again going for the hook, but these hooks are just not working. I think it's very easy to think that this is quite an easy throw, but if you can just see the flags fluttering in the wind, it's really quite strong. Luckily, we can't feel it as much here in the commentator booth, but Mainzelmädchen just utilizing quick turnover and getting play started. Ooh, close D there from Rintamaki. And Mainzelmädchen, lots of free cutters, and she just, very close to the line, and just squeezes it in there for number 55. Koshnitsky.
That's right. Number 67, Harms, has already been quite instrumental, probably one of their more experienced players. Good hands and good vision there to find the open player to bring the scores to level 2-all.
So I think this game is really going to be about who's going to be the first one to score at wind. As we can see already from some of the plays, it's just been really, really difficult to get it upwind. And I don't know if you viewers are familiar with Windmill, but a lot of the pitches actually are well protected by the trees. So some of the pitches into the further right corner, you don't feel the wind as much. Whereas here, we are pretty much in open space. So those hooks have to go on the same level as the cutter leaving with the handler, so they've got to go early if we're going to see some upwind hooking from these teams.
Oh, and a nice, confident pull, good distance, especially going against that breeze. Kind of almost right on the brick mark there.
Laplainen centers off to Victorio. Lots of free players just coming under. They seem to be very much defending the deep space. But, oh, that disc pops up, and it's well collected there from Mainzelmädchen, and straight away they're off to the races. Want to get it moving as quickly as possible. Number 19, Vale. Nice little upwind put there, and number 27, streaking deep. But, I think that
probably a strip will be called.
Yeah, I think the Helsinki player just coming down her inside. Yes. You've got to watch out for those.
Right. It's running into the disc probably as she went to go past to defend her player. So working out stall count, disc now back in. And lots of players downfield from the disc, but no many open options at all. Oh! There's a bit of confusion. Maybe a pick has been called, but nope, going for stall. So the score is now 3-2.
Yeah, that was the first break. I think that was also really lovely up the line cut from Stricker, just taking her time, and you got to get those short upward passes going in, and that was just really nice offense from Mainzelmädchen. So, and just as I say that, the wind really has picked up, so they're probably going to want to get that pool going as soon as possible.
That's right. It's a good time to get the upwind point just before the wind's picking up, because it's going to be very difficult from now on to score going towards the left of screen, as that wind is quite strong.
So I don't know if you had time to talk about the teams, because obviously I was running over from literally the other side of the venue, but both teams are going to Worlds in Cincinnati next month. Pools were announced yesterday. Don't believe they're in the same pool, but this is going to be good preparation for both teams. That pool just absolutely hangs and keeps going all the way into their own end zone. Regular great hand there for this Helsinki team. Rintamaki not finding what she wanted. She has to go over a really late punt, but
good grab.
Well collected. Oh, a monster flick hook, and it's going to hang, but I think, I just thought the way she had just read that correctly, but just right at the last moment pipped over her hand.
That's right. So now we have about 2/3 of the field to cover. Long options could be easy with this breeze in this direction, heading towards the right of screen. But very tight marks from the defense, and there's the turn back. So now collecting, making sure their team's set. We've got a throws again, holding up in that breeze. If you're not holding the disc at the right angle as you go for your throw, the wind not at all forgiving of the slightest angle on your throw there. Making everything crucial. Oh, and again, another turn, this time very close to the defensive end zone, having to work it all the way up the field against the wind. It'll be interesting to see. The wind is dropped slightly, whether they go for a big throw, and there it is. And a great chase, but no one on yet. Oh, and that's lovely. Taking full advantage of the changing conditions here.
Oh, that was actually just such a beautiful hook, and I even think that the Mainzelmädchen defender thought it might have been out, but that disc just floated beautifully down the sideline. I hope we get to see that one again, and as a consequence, she kind of let her man go, and that just meant completely open player deep as we, it's just after for the assist. But that hook, whoever threw that, kudos, because that is a difficult throw in this wind, and it was beautifully put and opened up the entire field. So fantastic play there from Helsinki. That's
right, scores now, again, 3-all, tied. Both teams just scoring upwind. But on both occasions, the wind has been lower than it has been. It's quite gusty. So both teams being able to take advantage of the wind dropping slightly and getting off some big throws towards the left of screen. And again, the wind picks up on time for the pull, which should be a nice long one with the assistance of the wind.
Well, that is a monster pull, very hard. But well taken there by Mainzelmädchen as they're going to work it down the pitch, and just the two handlers completely open.
But yeah, they kind of, I don't think they expected that, as they kind of just looked at each other for a moment there and went, oh yeah, okay, we'll just do the old 1-2.
So Krzyzewski with the disc swings it back over to Trebbing. That stack's kind of gone quite deep, but the first in stack has taken it nicely. So Mainzelmädchen, ooh, that floated up, but she's well collected. That's going to be quite a difficult side to get the discs off.
Yeah, definitely. The Wind, the unfortunate third team, the Wind, and it's not winning, which is good in this match, but early on today was definitely probably the most effective defence was the Wind itself rather than any team or player. Oh, you've just played, Sarah. How was it on your field?
Actually, the field wasn't too bad. Oh, nice. Just they slot it in there. I was actually in the field all the way over into the right corner, and we're actually quite well protected from trees. So nowhere near as windy as it is over here. Still quite an upwind, downwind game still. Lots of zone being played by, we played against Rebel. Lots of zone being played by a multitude of teams. So I just think the wind is forecast to be the strongest for today. So it is still going to be windy because we are at Windmill, but excuse the pun. But Windmill, generally speaking, today is definitely the worst day weather-wise. And also, as you just mentioned, it is cold. And even as somebody who does live in the Netherlands, it's not normally this cold. Forecast said it was going to feel like 12 degrees, which is cold. Yeah. But I don't think the players are going to have an issue with that once they're running around. Definitely feel the heat as we see Mainzelmädchen go for the pool. Oh, and it's just out. It's a bit confusing actually with these lines.
Yeah, they've got 3 fields fit very closely together, so there's not much gap in between. And there's also a second mark faded, which can be a bit hard to judge.
Oh, and also there don't seem to be any there don't see any brick marks. Yeah. We also had the same issue on our field, so that led to a bit of confusion. But yeah, taking a few steps from the centre line, teams can suss it out for themselves. So Mainzelmädchen still up with a break with a big hug, but they're sitting, and this is going to be a hospital pass. But to be honest, I think most of Helsinki took themselves out of it, thought that's not worth hurting myself over. And,
oh no, but didn't quite come out of the hands cleanly there, that throw, and hits the turf. But again, we're starting to see a few unforced errors here. Both teams, I think, wanting to get the point and maybe just rushing things a little bit more than they normally would and not getting their passes off. There's almost an intercept there.
Ooh, just out the outstretched hands of number 21, Grosse Braukmann. So, yeah, and just to mention that with Windmill, obviously we're working with a Swiss draw, so every point counts. It's incredibly important to be chilly and take your time in front of the end zone.
That's right. All teams probably chilly because it is quite cold. Classic. I'm from Australia and this is very cold for me. It's warmer back home in our winter.
So Helsinki trying to work it back upwind again. We've seen some big hucks, and I just called it, but that's beautifully placed. It's a bit too far though, and if maybe number 62 Tara had pulled the trigger, that would have been a huge catch, but beautifully put. I really think that, yeah, number 11 Rekala, the handler, and it's just been absolutely huge for these upwind hooks.
Yeah, she's been not at all afraid to just put them up there, and last time she was instrumental and they got the score off it. The wind was a little bit less intense than it is at the moment, but good to see that she's backing herself, and that almost again scored off a big move upwind.
Nice swing there onto the corner, finding the space in the middle. Getting into power position, but it's really hard to hook downwind, especially if we've seen these pulls.
The disc was close to down. The players now having a quick discussion. We might have time to have a replay as it happens, but we'll see. I thought the edge was down and it hit the ground, but
yeah, they've called it as a turnover as well. So good spirit there from Mainzelmädchen.
Yep, quick resolution. good talk by teammates as well to make the best call there.
Yeah, so once again, moving upwind. Wind once again picking up.
Yeah, you can see in the flags the direction and the intensity of this wind. And it's going to be impressive if they get the upwind point under these conditions.
Nice grab there.
Strong hands and a good jump in the air. Needed to take that disc. Beautiful pass. Lots of force behind that. Very steady in the wind. Oh, and yes, that's not ideal. So I think maybe a rush of adrenaline. They had such good momentum and great movement.
Yeah, I think she just saw the open player and went for it. But I was just about to say, Helsinki just throwing really comfortably at wind. Obviously, we've mentioned the handlers doing a really good job, but the cutters also just taking the time throwing it low. And, like, I can't begin to tell you how windy it is. And these teams are really coping with it as if it's not there. So just those last pass syndrome really just taking their time. But they're trapped in a horrible little
great
corner.
Pressure on the D there.
Oh, nice collection there.
Yeah. Oh, good read. Nice defense there, intercepts that disc. And Helsinki again, as the breeze is not only stronger, but is the strongest it's been during this game. Working upwind, she hasn't been afraid before to do some big throws against that wind, but again, it's getting caught. Throwing's having to be super precise in these conditions. And now moving back with the wind to help them for those long options. Going to have to mark deep because that's always going to be what you're looking for your handlers when you're going with that wind.
Oh, and there was just a little touch on the disc there from number 27, Rosano, but just not enough to knock it to the ground. So nice play from Mainzelmädchen just to also exploit the deep space going downwind. I don't know, like obviously with the viewers at home, not sure if you play Ultimate or not, but I can't also begin to tell you that how hard it is to throw accurately downwind as well, because you do have the wind behind you, so that's going to push it further and further, but Mainzelmädchen just placed that beautifully. And also, that was a break, I believe. So Mainzelmädchen just making that gap ever so slightly bigger, and especially when the team has to kind of go downwind after an upwind break, you may think it's just, you know, you may just think that it's just normal to do that, but no, not always. No. But it's going to be interesting to see if Mainzelmädchen can now convert this upwind point and then just make this gap even bigger and harder for Helsinki to come back on.
That's right, so they're going to have to work hard on defense now as Helsinki's going with the wind. And a very short pull, as you can tell, affected play there. It's good, nice, strong defensive pressure. Not making any space at all. Oh. The disc has remained in this kind of center position for almost a minute now, and they're looking for that long option. Someone's running deep, but tight defense is making it hard to get more than a few meters and not go any way closer to their end zone, as we see now maybe a glimmer of hope as they move it through the middle. Just got away with that throw. Lots of players in the area. Helsinki, disciplined movement here, having to fight for open space. No options downfield, having to go back for the dump. Oh, and a good read and intercepted there.
Yeah, I was just about to say Helsinki just has so much patience and they're playing so lovely ultimate, and then just number 55 from Mainzelmädchen, Kuznitsky, just reading the play really well. But it's a call here, probably a pick.
Yeah, pick called. The middle of the group of players there, which tends to happen when players gather. Oh, good hands to take that, and a good read in the wind, catching it just at the end there and holding it up a bit.
So Mainzelmädchen starting to storm down the pitch, having the confidence to go upwind, and we see a bladey hook, but yeah, those hooks, if they're gonna go, they've got to be flat. Any blades, if the defenders go in between, then that's just not gonna work. So Helsinki got to go the whole 9 yards.
That's right, all the way back down. Players a bit more open than they were initially at the start of this point. The defensive players probably quite tired because they were very intense and very close to their marks. And then now they've regathered. And Helsinki really no option but to dump and swing and try to wait for the open player downfield, as this zone's working really well.
Lapalainen's just getting every second disc. She's just commanding the offense here for Helsinki, but they're just finding the gaps really nicely. And as I say that, they just pop it over her head. Commentator's curse, I'm just going to shut up.
She jinxed them, she jinxed them.
So once again, they're just very patient. It's just that pass where they think they can make the gainer, it's not working, and that's a really nice throw to the weak side. So they've got to get it moving over to the left-hand side of the pitch so they can hook more effectively. But Mainzelmädchen is suddenly really static. But having said that, starting to make way down the pitch. I think some of these players...
Lovely take there with the one hand in the air.
Yeah, some of these players realising that they don't really want to be hooking it from this side of the pitch, but she might not have a choice. And as I say that, she goes for it, but smacked authoritatively down.
And a timeout called. It has been a long point, and a good decision there to make that timeout call, I feel. Both teams, teams of players probably needing a break, and also to try and come up with some strategies as the wind is changing direction slightly, going perhaps more across than down the field. Still the same intensity. And as the zone defense has been so effective, Helsinki really needing to come up with some strategies and talk about how to get that movement down the field, because they have just been trapped working it left to right and through the middle, but not getting any ground. Whereas, I'm going to try and say it now, Mainzelmädchen, yeah, probably not even close.
Not bad.
Oh, thank you, but I feel it wasn't close. But the beautiful red team, as I'll call them now, yeah, probably needing to talk about how they're going to swing it across and get it off that side where the throw option isn't there, but the strong force from Helsinki is making them having to throw it. They need to come up with some options and strategies, because at the moment, both teams have had the same thing happen again and again in this point, where they haven't just been able to get out of that rut.
Yeah, I agree. And I think also just both teams could exploit the break side more. I understand that it's windy and it's hard to get it there, but I think once you do open up the entire field. So as much as it's very easy just to take an easy dump, but that dump needs to then swing, because if they can get it onto a side where the wind is strong, then you can then go for that hook. So be interested to see if the Mainzelmädchen come back with the zone. I think it worked well for them.
Yeah, the zone was working well, definitely. Only had probably one opportunity really to get further downfield, and unfortunately the throw just going over the head of the intended receiver. So it'll be interesting to see what Helsinki have come up with in their timeout, whether they've got a set play or whether it was just talking about how to get that movement happening. They do seem to have a bit more space in terms of how their players are positioned. And looks like a call's been made about maybe she jumped off the side of the field.
Yeah, potentially. It's, as I said earlier, it's not very easy to see some of these sidelines.
That's right. It's very, we can't even see it here from our vantage point. So a little bit of discussion still. So, yeah, okay. So it's now resolved. The disc will stay where it is. Working out now what the stall count's going to be. And disc is back in play.
One thing I think Mainzelmädchen do very well in this zone is putting a lot of pressure on the handlers. As it may be in Women's Ultimate, sometimes you just don't see those expansive hammers and scubas as much. And just putting that pressure on their handlers just means they haven't got a dump and they're just going to go through the middle, but they do that very nicely.
Oh no, that's unfortunate, unforced error there. They'd done so well and the player was there to be the receiver, but the throw just not coming off as intended. Oh, and another unforced error there. Both teams, I think, really struggling to get the catch.
Yeah, these points are starting to become monster points.
Definitely.
Obviously, these are not just the only teams that have problems with the wind. I think everyone is going to be encompassing some form of monster point at some point today. But Mainzelmädchen, once again, they've got it on the good side where they want to kind of break the force and get it moving down the line, but they've just swung a bit too much aggression there on that tee.
Hopefully she's all right there. The momentum carrying her on top of her opponent. Oh, and that's good spirit there, and I'm glad that neither injured after that collision. Unfortunately, though, the throw just not coming off. And now Helsinki again have an opportunity. They don't take advantage of this with the quick play. They discipline, they try to set something up, which means that their defensive players are able to also set up the defensive zone, which has been working so well so far. Bit of a gap there in the middle, and it's a nice long option, but it's caught by the wind and holding up. Oh, but what a read. What a grab.
What a take there from Lapalainen. As you said, Elle, I just thought she was coming in too quickly, but it was well read and well taken, as we'll probably see on the replay. So from the roster that we got from Helsinki, they said from Lapalainen she'd be the most likely to get a hand or a layout block, but in this case,
I don't think
she's
we've
got
seen
a
any.
bit the deep receiver.
Yeah. I don't think we've seen any layouts this game.
So really great take there from Lapalainen.
That's right, and quite a few of the lines from both teams having a well-deserved break there, and that point was so long. So many turnovers, timeout called during it, and now we have Helsinki down by 1, 5-4, because we just passed 40 minutes of play.
I think both teams will be quite happy that Windmill has also been quite windy as well, just to get them prepared for Cincinnati. Generally speaking, they're probably a lot hotter than it is here, but also good to prepare and have these tournaments where the wind is maybe not as strong as it normally is when you play. So Mainzelmädchen coming out on offense, but it's a zone here from Helsinki, letting it go through the middle, but putting a lot of pressure on the wings. So quite close to each other. Ooh, just squeaks through there. And, and just a tumble with the disc. So halfway house, Helsinki picks up the disc and the wind just gusts suddenly. So probably regretting picking the disc up, but not if you're Rekla, who has been great in the wind. That's so beautiful low. Once again, she's gonna throw the
beautiful and great concentration. You can see it in her technique there. Super disciplined, focused on the angle of the disc. Everything has to be controlled in these conditions, and she did that so well. I am scared that I'm going to jinx her, but again, got away with that throw.
Kirklow nearly getting D. I don't really quite know how that came into the hands of Gaia, but it did. And Helsinki looking confident as they work it up the pitch. Signaling for the dump, but just pings out the hands there.
Just a very low throw and very hard to take at the best of times. Just out of reach.
So Mainzelmädchen wanted to crash through the cup, but not an option. Cup starts to seal in.
That's right, must be a high stall count at this point. So she might just go for it, yep. Gets some nice offensive distance there. And Helsinki are going to have to again work it up against the breeze from almost their defensive end zone, so a long way to get back up. But a nice, strong, confident hands will be picking up this disc here. Oh, very good pressure and covering there with the dump. Not an option. A turn now about 10 meters from the end zone.
Oh, lovely high release backhand break there from number 4, Kirklow. And just really patient and also just really precise. I just think that the cutting was very chilled. It wasn't everyone cutting at the same time. The cutters knew exactly when they were meant to go, and that just opened up all the space into the end zone. So great patience there as we see it on the replay again. Kirklow with the disc. Just got all the space in the world to run into.
Beautiful, yeah. Nice open space. As you said, it's almost clinical. They've been running that a few times at training, probably, that move.
So interesting, obviously, to see kind of the backgrounds of Helsinki and Mainzelmädchen. So Mainzelmädchen have been around for over 20 years, but have formed together of people from Mainz and Darmstadt in 2011. And obviously they want to be competitive for Worlds, but also looking to defend their national title in German division. And the same goes for Helsinki, who have great practice of playing against Atletico all the time. But bit static to begin, but beautiful throw through the middle.
Just out of reach there. Few players trying to be a long option, but covered pretty well by their opponents here. Helsinki just moving it through the middle, and big throw, but again, as you said, with the breeze, sometimes can go a lot further than intended, and that was the case there.
So Mainzelmädchen bringing it to Coffin Corner. Not particularly a nice corner to be in, but I think with the strengths of the handlers that we've seen so far in this game, it's not going to be too much of a problem. So lots of poaching under. They clearly wanted to throw it deep, but she's content with swinging the disc. Lots of kind of bodies in the way and a nice sharp inside throw. Bobbles up, but it's well collected. And the handlers staying on this left-hand side and just swinging it patiently between them. I think Mainzelmädchen just been that little bit more clinical.
Yeah, definitely thinking about the options, looking for the best one and waiting for it rather than trying to rush anything, and particularly going up against this breeze has been instrumental. And as we say that though, a throw not at all as intended, they're getting caught by the breeze. And Helsinki players open in the middle. Oh, but just again, yeah, not taking the time, as you mentioned there. It's very hard to, once you've got the disc, you get excited. You can already think about where you want to throw.
So Mainzelmädchen once again swinging the discs nicely. Big deep option gone, but it's very deep. And just nice D there from number 5 on the Helsinki, Lapalainen, who had the great grab earlier.
That's
she
right.
collects the disc straight off. They just want to get it moving and get it towards that end zone as quickly as possible. Number 77, Victorio with the disc, and that's a great little snag there from Soraka. And there seems a bit of confusion from Mainzelmädchen, but maybe just general confusion as to how she was so free. So
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, bit of a miscommunication there, perhaps on the defensive line there, as it seemed they had been running zone a lot of the time, and then I think when they turned it earlier during the point, some players I don't think realised they'd switched to man. And Helsinki taking advantage of that with some free plays in the middle, moving it down and scoring. So there is now 6-5. 50 minutes of play. And as you can see by the flags in the middle of the screen, breeze still strong, but it has died down compared to earlier in the game. So if Helsinki get the turn, they could be able to bring this scores back to level. So just working it through this center channel here, now swinging it across to that side. But the great zone pressure on defense. They're now swinging it. Helsinki trying to regather the defense, but very dangerous position here as the offensive teams just working it back and forth, side to middle to side again.
Oh, nice grab. And also just nice offensive Mainzelmädchen. That was a perfect out point, and that's just going to instill a bit more confidence in the team. Sometimes it can be very, not depressing, that probably might not be the right word, but it can be just so difficult in some of the longer points and just getting used to the win. But that was just a beautiful offensive point from Mainzelmädchen. Just lots of high releases, lots of inside throws, and just taking their time in front of the end zone.
Yeah, lots of patience there and just moving it back and forth, back and forth. Players getting into space, faking out their opponents and getting the catches. Beautiful movement to watch. And they now lead 7-5.
So if Mainzelmädchen can capitalise on this next point, we will be going to half. And I don't know where they started because I was late, unfortunately. But
And I was coming from my other previous game, so I also do not know where they started. Sorry to be of no help.
they would definitely be starting downwind. It's just more of a question of, are they going to be starting on OOD? That disc just rolls tentatively along the sideline, but stays in. Zone coming out again from Mainzelmädchen, but Helsinki have seen it all before and just happy to throw it through the middle. Bit more of a flattish mark, forcing a lot of pivots from Helsinki. There's always a popper coming crashing through, making a lot of yards. So, ooh, that upwind disc just started veering off to the right-hand side and just not enough to get close to that one. So, once again, Mainzelmädchen picking up the disc, got to go upwind, but that's a beautiful, sharp upwind throw. Oh, nice. Ankle breaking cover the line, but it's not okay. It's just bobbling up in the air.
That's right. Again, on that dangerous side that we spoke about earlier on in that monster point, where they needed to get it off that sideline because the throws are just getting caught up in that breeze and not making any distance and getting caught or intercepted by Helsinki.
So Helsinki get pushed further and further back, really close to their own end zone, but that was a good fake. It psyched out half of the Mainzelmädchen group. So her dump is still in the end zone, but putting the pressure on is just so close to their own end zone line. If that disc dump back doesn't go well, then it could be Callahan territory, but looking quite confident with the disc on their own line. So still count rising. That disc goes dangerously low, but well collected there by number 12, Hanin. Yeah, now they are actually in their own end zone.
That's right. We are in Callahan territory, and I'm excited. Can happen at any moment. Helsinki have almost lost so much ground. They are almost at the back end of the field. Not at all ideal. Just such great defensive pressure here. There's no options to get further down as they finally manage to swing it, gaining some ground forward. But again, lucky to get away with that throw through the middle there. Just over now the halfway mark of the field, but there's the turn. Oh, they worked so hard to get that ground. And a great read on the disc there. Making it look easier going against the wind in this case, due to that great defensive pressure. Definitely.
What an inspirational throw there from
so good.
Mainzelmädchen. I didn't expect it to go such a blady around backhand, but it was beautifully weighted there for Vio, and that's an upwind break, and that is also half time. So great work there from Mainzelmädchen. They just, I feel like the Mainzelmädchen a little bit more comfortable going upwind. I think when Helsinki are lacking some of their handler power, it starts to stagnate as we see that break. Just
beautiful throws there.
Great take.
Definitely. So halftime now. The Helsinki team players standing around there, lots of talk about trying to come up with some strategies here. They know that they could well be in trouble at this point in the game, trailing by 3 points in a game where every upwind goal is difficult to come by, and there's been quite a few unforced errors and turnovers simply because of the conditions, as well as perhaps a little bit of foreseen pressure from defense. Both teams now gathering into a huddle, trying to boost that morale, get pumped up, and come out fighting for the second half. The sun trying to break through the clouds, but up here in our commentary tower,
I finally got my coat back.
Sarah's finally now got a jacket. She's been sitting here in just her playing uniform. I've been freezing and I'm in thermals and a jumper. So I don't know how she hasn't managed to get hypothermia up here. But well done, Sarah. And I'm thankful now, as my chief start to chatter, that she's got a jacket on. And that there's also not too long left in this game, as it is very fresh out here for the commentary team, who, while it sounds ideal, just sits and talks. Not ideal when you want to be warm.
So also bear in mind that this game is longer than the last game that we had, so to kind of get an idea of seeding these games, the first game at Windmill is 75 minutes. Then all games after that are 90 minutes long, so obviously kind of world's recommendation of the timings. I don't think we're going to be getting to 15 in this game. It's highly unlikely. I don't think there's going to be many games that get to 15 today. Especially if you're having much really tight defense. But on all these pitches, we see that the women's don't really want to waste a timeout or a long half time because it is quite cold, so they are getting moving quickly. So we're going to see Helsinki going out on offense upwind. So Mainzelmädchen probably looking to capitalize on the downwind D straight after the half. We see the zone again, where they've let Helsinki break through the middle a lot. Helsinki just taking their time. A bit of a wobbly disc there, but it came off. As I said, it's hard to throw it onto that side, but it's what you want. Well collected.
Again, that disc getting dangerously close to the ground as it gets caught by the wind on that edge. And again, strong defensive pressure. Losing ground here, Helsinki, as they're forced back into their own defensive end zone almost. Super impressed with the defense.
Ooh, just squeaks through there. This one, well collected there from Lapalainen.
She's got good hands, this one.
They did say that she could go for a layout block, but I thought she's going to go for the layout catch, but well collected. And Helsinki now on the halfway line, bit of a bump there on the mark, but absorbs it well.
Certainly was a disc space. Like but they know that she is an important player and has some good throws against the wind, but not coming off this time. Just coming off the hands there. And there could be a quick score. Oh, but just again, popped off the player's hands. As the breeze is slightly changing direction in terms of cross field, and the players needing to adjust and recognise that.
So, Rosado, hailing from America, giving some handler power to this Finnish team. Going the back into the end zone. She goes for a nice put. Oh, that chopped yards off the field. So
they need this space definitely going forwards, but quickly lose it. So they're back about 3 meters from the defensive end zone. They need to try and get this disc forward, but also maintain possession.
And I think also for Mainzelmädchen, maybe it doesn't necessarily matter on getting a D, but just forcing so many passes that it just turns into, yeah, waiting for that first mistake. And yeah, as you mentioned, we're gone right back into their own end zone. So this has just been really good D from Mainzelmädchen. Just kind of waiting for, break there, but it's well covered there from number 92, Mainzelmädchen Levoy.
Yeah, definitely not looking necessarily for a hand block or an intercept, just putting pressure on the disc, but almost a great D there, but just held up in the air. A little bit of a cheeky disc spike, but great pressure, and she's pumped that they have managed for quite, again, another long point. Huge intensive pressure. And now they lead 9-5.
Yeah, we saw Helsinki walking away there in a power stance. They don't want to get their heads down. You got to just keep churning. And as I say, because it's so windy, anything could happen. We could see a big comeback coming from Helsinki. I would definitely not put it out of the question. Out of the equation, even.
And I wouldn't question it.
I know, you wouldn't question it, but obviously the more points that Mainzelmädchen start to rack up, the more difficult it's going to be. So
it's all right. Just see that replay of that goal. Celebration there. Super pumped. And why wouldn't you be after your team has just done such great defense? Forcing them back into the end zone. Time and time again. And taking advantage of the turnover.
Ooh, good defensive pressure there from Mainzelmädchen. They're just getting just close enough to the disc, but not close enough to... Oh, thought that had been bobbled. to be eaten up by hoods.
Oh, and a great intercept there.
Yeah, so Mainzelmädchen now got the confidence coming out the half strong, looking to go at wins. Just taking their time.
That's right, 55 with the great read and intercept there in the D just before. Now coming back to handle.
Great break there from Mainzelmädchen. Oh, that inside just a bit too far out, and a great attempt there from Weil to try and get it back. But Helsinki now off to the races, got swinging and moving very quickly. Popping through the middle, not trying to lose those yards. Oh, fakes the hook, but it doesn't go, and
oh,
it
that
just bobbles out the hands.
Yeah. Again, they managed to actually gather quite a bit of space there on offense, about in the center of the field.
Oh, good D there from Helsinki.
Yeah.
You just saw them peeling off the first cutter.
Yeah, yeah.
Stopping that undercut, which has been so effective for Mainzelmädchen.
Yeah, Helsinki may be starting to recognize a few of the plays of their opponents and trying to preempt those moves, just helping them to now get some turnovers, but they are still struggling to get through the defensive pressure and get ground closer to the end zone. And as you see again, straight into the defensive player's arms there on a high stall count.
Yeah, Trobing is one of the taller players on this Mainzelmädchen team, so great block there from her. Also quite close to the end zone, looking to break the mark, but it's quite a swirly dump cut, but still manages to get it off. Lots of pressure.
Nice. That's right. Closely followed by the defender there. Lucky the throw was pinpoint accurate. Beautiful throw there.
Oh, great collection. Once again, from Koshnitsky. She's been rapid.
Yeah.
For this team, really rapid cutter.
Yeah, instrumental in that point, getting the early intercept earlier on, handling. And now coming away with the goal. So they now lead 10-5, just over the 66-minute mark. Still quite a bit of time left, but at this point definitely feels that Helsinki are going to have to pull out something super impressive and change up what they've been doing so far dramatically with this defense. Just outstanding.
Yeah, I totally agree, and I also think it's a big mental game as well. Mainzelmädchen have had quite a few breaks on the trot, and going downwind, so that's probably going to work in their favour. We'll see a big pull, so Helsinki just has to keep going, don't give up. They're definitely a team that can throw in this wind. So the zone coming back again.
So we've seen good skills from both teams, unforced errors from both teams, but definitely a lot more discipline and patience, and possible set plays happening from Mainzelmädchen. Was that even close? Who knows? I change it every time. I've been listening closely to Sarah to just try and think about how to say it, but spell it in English. It hasn't helped me. So apologies to all their fans.
Yeah, when they said that we needed some help with pronunciation of the last names, they did nothing to do with the team name, unfortunately.
They probably thought that I'd be able to work it out for myself, and I sadly did not. Again, this defensive pressure, just holding them basically in that same position, not gaining much ground at all. Trying to break through this, but now it's just almost playing a keepy-off situation here. Some 1-2s happening. She doesn't want to give up any ground. She doesn't want to go backwards because they've seen that before, but they might have to. There's no throw options downfield that they can get to at the moment. And the stall count just gets higher. You have to go back if there's nothing else downfield you can reach. Oh, and a nice give and go there, but again, options downfield covered by their defenders, as they've really just trapped them in that same probably 5 square meters of field here. Lots of the players for Helsinki involved in the throwing and catching, but just no one downfield. All players in this almost top third of the field. And Helsinki get a little bit more movement than before. Got a bit of a swing action happening. It's got to the other side, but are now back in that same position they were trapped in for quite a while earlier. Trying to make something happen whilst also maintaining possession. There's fakes. There's not many options at all that they can seem to get to. This defense is just amazing to watch.
Oh, nice little break there.
That's right, and this could be it, but again, they need to make sure that they're disciplined enough, but also quick enough, which is hard to find that balance at times once you've worked so hard to get through. As zone defense, it's sometimes super easy to get overexcited and just blaze away once you've gotten out of there. And Helsinki again, composed. They now have gained distance, but they have been forced to throw back again, try to make something magic happen and be able to get to the downfield players. Just super impressive there on the mark, just running so hard is Harms. Oh, and she is one of their more mature players, years of experience showing there, but certainly fitter than some of the people younger, such as myself. But my goodness, she is working tirelessly there on the disc.
It's kind of sacking off a bit, this zone. It's kind of looking more and more like man, but it's definitely still... Oh!
And as we said that, Helsinki, who have worked so hard and been so disciplined, maybe they started to relax and think they could get off a throw as the zone started to become a little bit more poachy than a regular zone. A great hands there with that catch and a beautiful quick conversion from the turn to now bring the score to 11-5.
Yeah, beautiful offense there, straight from the turnover, and I think it must just feel so crushing for Helsinki, working it so well for so long, and then just making just that one mistake, and it happened to be close by the end zone, and Mainzelmädchen just straight away put it in. So yeah, I can, as a handler myself, I can completely feel where they're coming from. It's so frustrating working your whole way through a zone, making those breaks, making yardage in the middle, and then just losing it at the last moment.
Definitely, as Harms comes off, having a well-earned break from that defensive pressure she had the whole time there, working on the disc. So again, defensive line. Helsinki throwing with the breeze on offense.
So what I'm trying to do at the moment whilst I'm waiting for the pool is try to find some other results. At the moment, I'm struggling a little bit, but hopefully once I get my league fights work, then we can also give some updates in the other divisions and just kind of see where Helsinki are at the moment. She straight away puts it deep, but just that offensive player from Helsinki just not deep enough, as Mainzelmädchen start to work it on pitch, but that was a really difficult inside throw that doesn't come off. And Helsinki close to the end zone. Mainzelmädchen going man, at the moment. A bit close to the end zone with that inside
Oh.
throw. It's quite sharp, but it looks like, even from my perspective, if I could tell, that was out.
Yeah, just being caught by the breeze. It's going slightly across as well as down to the top right of your screen. The score is 11-5, which has now been recently updated. So 6-point buffer here. But Helsinki now with the disc in a good position. But that throw just going over the intended target, getting caught by the wind. Getting the extra pace on it as this wind is quite strong. As they work it beautifully, moving it to the center of the field. The receiver all by themselves there. Not quite the flick that was intended to come off there, but still caught, maintaining possession.
Caught with the face. It's a strong
That's
look.
right. It's a good look, and it's a painful look, but what a beautiful throw.
That was gold dust.
Oh my goodness.
What a throw there.
I think they just said, what wind? Didn't even look like there was any challenging conditions out here for these guys. Beautiful throw. And take the lead further, 12-5. Helsinki probably feeling at this point, with 75 minutes of play, that it's going to be almost impossible to come back and win, but probably very eager still to get more points on the board.
As we say, we're at Windmill, every single point counts. The Swiss draw system is very complicated. I'm not even going to begin to start explaining it because I don't quite know. But generally speaking, you would be seeded with another team, either a team that's quite high above you or around a similar stance as you are. And then it's expected that if you are closely seeded, that you have a close game. And if you are not closely seeded, that one team will win quite comfortably. So also the results of other teams have an impact on your results. So if you play a team first and you win very closely, but then that team beats a very difficult team, that is also going to help you. So quite a complicated system. And not quite sure what the second seeding is right now for Helsinki and Mainzelmädchen, which I'm trying to look up. But complicated system, but it's a cool one, makes the tournament incredibly exciting, even up to the very last stages.
That's right, and we again see this Mainzelmädchen zone defensive pressure trapping Helsinki in this bottom third, but they managed to finally get it to the downfield and on the side. But again, options limited almost instantly. Not able to take advantage of that slim opportunity, the glimmer of hope that they can get it past the halfway mark, closer to their end zone.
Oh, what an opening throw there. But isn't able to get it off on that continuation pass and just once again stagnated.
Yeah. All options quickly shut down if there's been any movement downfield. Again, going backwards being the only option that they are allowed by their defenders. Looking for a bit of a 1-2 give and go here, trying to get some distance upfield. Nice spotting there on the sideline. Oh, nice crossfield throw there. But again, no options available downfield from that position. And this defensive pressure, as we've seen time and time again, trapping them almost in a third of the field, giving them that amount of space, and that's all they're allowed. So call's just been made here. Disc is back in. And the defenders putting on this pressure, not looking for any big bids or layouts, trying to get the hucks stopped or anything like that. They just want to keep that pressure on and let the other team make a mistake. And there we see it. Turn again. It's almost textbook precision here. Same old kind of situation with that zone D pressure. Just great and effective, but a bit of an unforced error there. Turning the disc over, almost an opportunity for another goal, but Helsinki now given the challenge of having to work it up the field again, hoping to get out of their defensive end zone. Against this insurmountable zone D that they're running here.
Yeah, now we're going to see Mainzelmädchen putting a lot of pressure, especially when they're in that corner, but Helsinki seem comfortable to get it out there. But as she says, just great D again from Mainzelmädchen. They've just got this zone down.
Yeah, it's probably one of the best I've seen. Super impressive. I don't think I've ever seen a team that just has no options downfield that they can get to. Ooh, the most they're willing to give, as I've now said that, has been about 15 metres to here. And again, they tend to just swim, shut down any options, force them to go backwards, and just keep that pressure on.
I think also you could just tell with Helsinki, with some of the receivers in the middle, they don't seem that comfortable throwing it forward. So losing a lot of yards trying to get it back to the handlers, and I can understand that it makes sense to send it to a handler, but it just, you may need to just make that attempt as much. You may not feel so comfortable with throwing a short upwind pass.
That's right. Well, definitely the top part of their zone will be pretty tired at this stage. It has been another long point. So it might just be that the Helsinki handlers just been working hard. If they can get it downfield, it could be on, while those who are downfield have not been able to be as involved in this point, as we see a strong catch as the collision there.
I think she might have also stood on them.
Stood on her foot, yes.
Sakaya, but I think she's all right.
Yeah.
So
very quick to apologise, because we all know it hurts a lot when that happens. And a bit of space there given to her on here, but again, oh, a nice cut to give her an option there in the centre of the field.
It's also the closest we've seen Helsinki
I
to the end zone, and they scored!
That was impressive. They had to work very hard then to get that score. Another long point.
So actually,
almost 5 minutes long.
Speaking of long points, we're actually getting quite close to the end of the game. So we've only got 8 minutes left. Also managed to get Leaguevine to work. So at the moment, Mainzelmädchen and Helsinki are seeded second and third. So they have done very well in their first game, so I assume both of them won. And it looks like that the whole women's division has been turned upside down, if I look at the results. So we have currently, and I do like to put a disclaimer that this changes so quickly, so probably by the next game they'll be seeded down a bit lower, so obviously it works more in Helsinki's favour to score as many points as possible to stay close to Mainzelmädchen. So having just a quick look, the Swiss standings so far: Atletico in first place, Helsinki in second, Mainzelmädchen in third, Troubles in fourth, Gentle in fifth, Jaka in sixth, Entraladas in seventh, and Gravity in eighth. So a few strong teams down in that bottom half. So would not be surprised to see these Swiss draws results changing with a few more points on the board.
That's right. And we see now Helsinki zone giving a lot more options.
So, right, Mainzelmädchen working it up nicely up the field. Happy to take that loss of a swing, but well worked. Bit of a strong lady put there, but it's just a bit too far. So Helsinki going to be working towards a big lot of pressure there.
Almost got it.
But a nice downwind put, as we see number 22, Sarlin, with the disc. No force at all. She put it where she wants to shoot, wishes, but chooses just to take the easy dump. And a yard gainer there for Helsinki, getting dangerously close to the end zone for the break.
That's right.
She doesn't see what she wants. She wants the inside, and she puts it. Oh, that's a beautiful little break.
Oh, it's good. It'll be good for these guys to finish with a couple more points on the board after working so hard upwind against that zone D, as the score is now 12-7. That was a very quick point, that one. As the sun is starting to shine, whilst the wind drops a little bit as well. So if they do get a turn, they might be able to convert in the upwind point and get 3 in a row.
Yeah, so this game, just having a look at the previous results. Obviously, I mentioned that they're currently in second and third for Swiss Draw. But results-wise, Helsinki ended up beating Ultimate Dragons 15-2. So that's probably why, a very big score difference. And we also have Mainzelmädchen beating Southwest 15-4. Southwest comprising of a lot of the under-20 women from Russia. So that seems that there was some pretty big wins there. Obviously, this game a little bit closer, but Mainzelmädchen currently in the driving seat. As we see Helsinki going out with the zone. There's not many defenders in the middle, but there's also not many offenders in the middle. But having said that, they are starting to storm down the pitch very comfortably. Big man call. There's a bit of a slow transition from Helsinki. And Mainzelmädchen just look really, really comfortable with the disc.
Yeah, they're very spacious. It's all, they're using all the width of the field, waiting for those best options as we start to hear the jingles, which means the end of the game is approaching with the time cap. Again, waiting for the best options, not rushing anything. Very disciplined play, and I feel that I maybe am jinxing her as I said that. But beautiful sight and a great throw there.
Great bailout, stall 9 throw there. And why not throw it to one of your tallest receivers, number 24 from Mainzelmädchen, Gengnachel. So, as you said, we had the jingle just now, so it's hard actually to hear the jingle, obviously with the wind. I'm not sure if this is the 5-minute jingle or whether this is the time's over jingle. I would assume the 5 minutes.
I think it's the 5-minute one, yeah.
And I'm completely incorrect.
We just corrected.
So the time is over now. So I do believe that they scored prior to the jingle going off. Having said that, there's always a bit of a debate of is the time over when the jingle starts, or is the time over when the jingle says that the time is over? So from what I understand, I wasn't in the captain's meeting, but from what I understand, yeah, it's +1, but also as soon as the jingle is heard,
the start of the jingle.
The start of the jingle. So just to save confusion. But I still think that happened after they scored. So I have a feeling that this game will be it could actually get to 15 if Mainzelmädchen are quick enough to put a score on the board. But there should probably be about 2 points left in this game. So big upwind pull. Nearly hits the widest cutter. Oh, and it bobbles over her head, but luckily her dot is sat right there. Oh, and Mainzelmädchen not actually going. But a lot of pressure.
Don't need to if you're going to do that, yeah.
Yeah, great combined pressure for number 19 there from Vile. And I also believe that was a bit of pressure there from Grota Braugmont. So great start. Oh, she looks for a dump. There isn't one on that side.
No.
But goes for a high release, but you just can't do that in this way.
No, the wind again has picked back up. It's very strong currently, as you may be able to tell by the 2 unforced errors we've just had there, from one from each team. As again, people wanting to get that disc moving, but not putting the right angle or spin on the disc.
Oh, that's just a drop, but it's one of those drops that just keeps going towards the end zone. They're the absolute worst. So, yeah, Helsinki wants to get close to the end zone. Ooh, close, but no cigar for Mainzelmädchen on the doorstep. They're knocking, but is anyone home? And yes, they are.
Nice, nice. I think they've now got a respectable score.
Yeah, so 13-8, I believe, but I believe now game will be to 14. I assume they've had that discussion with each other. I think that's what they're discussing right now on the pitch. So game to 14. Mainzelmädchen go downwind. So given the fact that we've seen some really nice downwind offenses from Mainzelmädchen, this might be quite quick. Having said that, I've probably cursed it, so it's probably going to take about 20 minutes. So Helsinki gonna need to find the biggest pool of the game to try and work it further down this pitch. And as I say that, that is a beauty of a pull. Oh, nearly goes to catch it. Luckily hits the floor just as she was about to grab it.
That was dangerously close there.
Bit hair raising, not gonna lie.
I did see in my last game someone hit there, drop the pool, so.
Yeah, we had it in our game as well, actually. So
happens to the best of us.
Yeah, so Mainzelmädchen looking comfortable, swinging the disc. Nice. Oh, yardage. Oh, I thought that was going to be a great little collection. She was
so
good to see
close to the sideline. I think she checked her feet and wasn't able to do both, looking to see if she could manage to stay in and catch the disc. I think she probably would have been out anyway. Well, the wind just pushing it slightly.
So Mainzelmädchen are not coming out in zone. Obviously, quick transitions. They've just gone man. Wonder how this is actually going to work in favour of Helsinki. So Helsinki just swinging the disc, looking comfortable. Some big fakes, but they ain't coming. Just looking for a dump, but it's also not come off. Ooh, just collected there. And nice dump defense, pushing them back, and she hasn't got a dump. Ooh, that disc bobbling up. Nice grab from Rossano.
What you might be able to hear in our microphones, the wind picking up quite fiercely now as Helsinki try to make it up. And
oh, that is picked up and it's coming back. She can't get involved. Oh, it's a great grab!
Great grab.
Yeah, great grab there from Kayer. But she hasn't got an option. She's got to put it deep. But don't know how that happens. Not quite in.
What a pass.
Not in.
It hits her teammate's hands and falls into her own. Unfortunately, yeah, not in the end zone.
Oh, has to go for high
risky.
Release first. Oh, but yeah, there's enough whack on that disc for it not to be a score. So once again, Mainzelmädchen gotta go the whole 9 yards, gotta go downwind to finish this game.
That's right. Helsinki will be hoping for a hand block just right now, but almost an intercept just on the sideline there. Very disciplined, not looking for a big long huck, waiting for a shorter pass to an open player. This slightly swirling breeze now making it a bit difficult just to huck it long and hope that the open player will be able to run onto it. As I say that, there is the huck that I was waiting for.
Oh, and she nearly gets it with her left hand, but I think there was just enough pressure there from number, I believe it's number 13 on her shorts, but not on her top.
Yeah.
But really good pressure, just to really...
That's right. In good position as well to get slightly in front.
Now, I can see that they're setting up a man, but I thought they might have had enough time to set up the zone and just put that pressure on.
No, I am surprised they're not going zone, especially from this position, right on the corner of the end zone against the wind. Oh, it's kind of a bit poachy there, that man there.
Oh, well collected there from number 62. Tara just kind of read the play and saw it go to the left. So Helsinki finding that confidence again to go and win. They just want to get some more points on the board and don't want this game to end. So
a good throw across there. Oh, it was a bit risky. She kind of, I think, the disc just going not quite as expected. And a good chase to get that disc under control. And just out of the end zone, right on the line here. Defensive players are working super hard to try and shut down any options. They were in this position moments before and had to do just a big hopeful throw.
I don't know how that happened, but she managed to catch it. Rekala normally on the handlers just coming in short, so...
And this game just keeps on going.
Yeah, so that was a break from Helsinki, making the game much more tight. Mainzelmädchen are going to have to score upwind to finish the game.
Which they've done before.
Which they've done, and I know that that's not going to be the end of the world for them, but it could be that we're going to run quite far into the next game
the next time slot, yes. The men Opens team, who is on this field next, are ready to roll. They're waiting on the sideline, and they will just have to wait their turn as this game is giving us value for money here, and for those of you watching at home as well. So 13-9, only 4 points the difference.
If we bear in mind that the goal difference at one point was definitely 7, Helsinki have clawed it back, and we did mention that we thought that that was going to be possible. So I just wonder whether Mainzelmädchen are just going to chill out, take the time, and work it up into the upwind end zone. As I said, the wind's dropped quite dramatically, actually. So this pull might not make it all the way to the end zone. So move it as quickly as possible whilst the wind is low. Helsinki coming out with the zone. Lots of space to swing. Just taking their time, but finding those wings and just popping it beautifully, really.
Yeah, definitely able to find a lot more space and options in this zone as they work it.
Yeah, so the difference here with Mainzelmädchen is that their handlers are much more active. So their handlers, they throw and they go. And it often creates a lot of space in the middle of the cup. Or even if they're going through the middle of the cup, they're just taking somebody with them and creating a hole for somebody else. Ooh, nice catch there. Nice little inside throw. And also just the cutters of Mainzelmädchen just more comfortable with moving the disc forward.
Beautiful pop into the cup there.
So potentially a bit more of a thought of upward downwind lines as we see Mainzelmädchen about halfway now. Oh, there's a travel call.
Yeah, call's been made.
So we're going back a long way.
A few throws ago.
Yeah.
Or, yeah.
Quite a long discussion going on here about what's going on, and also everyone has to go back to where they were, which is also hard to tell.
That's right. So everyone's getting called back to try and remember where they were about 3 throws ago. I was roughly here. I feel there's a lot of what's being said out here. Okay, so disc will be called in shortly. As the wind's picked back up.
Oh, nice grab.
Nice strong hands. Yes, popping into the cup there, making that space. Oh, beautiful. But that throw.
Ooh, that came out incorrectly. Yeah, not how she wanted it.
Was not ideal. It'll be interesting to see if Helsinki are able to take advantage of this turn.
Oh, no! And it just drops right at the wrong moment. Oh, that's crushing. That was looking like a beautiful break point again for Helsinki, but not to be. As Mainzelmädchen just got to go, but their swing passes are so sharp.
Yeah.
And once again, crushing the... but she wasn't ready for that one.
No, she wasn't. Oh, but I think a call's been made. I think foul was called, yeah. Bit of a discussion, though, about whether it was be interesting to see. So, yeah. Contested foul, I believe, was the signal just given then. So that just affects the stall count rather than possession in this case. Travel now called. So quite a few calls being made, but half the players haven't realised down the field. So contested that call. I think this is the second time travel's been called by that same player from Helsinki. I thought the signal given initially was travel.
It looks like from the hand signals that it's certainly a travel. I don't particularly feel that there's been a lot of travelling going on.
No.
But
then, okay.
I'm not quite sure how that works if a travel and they're on the end zone line, sorry, on the sideline. But that bit's picked up. No one's got it except Mainzelmädchen, and now they're in a much better position to start. Much more focused and try not to travel.
That's right.
Oh, great inside throw. That's just a huge gainer.
Oh, that was
collected well. And she goes to the
very well collected
to finish the game. But it's getting left.
Oh,
she has it.
Beautiful catch there.
She has it.
Strong hands. And the next game will start straight away as the women teams get off the field as the open session has already started. So that's a bye from Elshak and Sarah as we hand over to the next commentary team.
Thank you very much, guys. Thanks a lot.
ULTI.TV.